Welcome, everyone, to our brand new series, Mastering ESG, Environmental, Social, and Governance for the Future of Business. I'm Yogesh, and joining me, as always, is Lily.
Thanks, Yogesh. I'm excited. ESG isn't just another buzzword. It's become a framework shaping how companies are evaluated by investors, governments, employees, and customers.
Exactly. And when we say ESG, we're talking about three pillars. E for environmental, how a company impacts the planet. S for social, how it treats people, both inside and outside. And G for governance, how the company is managed and held accountable.
And what makes ESG so relevant today is that it blends business performance with responsibility. Companies can't just chase profits anymore. They're expected to prove they're good global citizens, too.
Historical roots, CSR, sustainability, and the rise of ESG. Let's go back a bit. ESG didn't just appear overnight. It evolved from earlier movements like corporate social responsibility, or CSR.
CSR was more about philanthropy, donations, community projects. Good, but often disconnected from core business. ESG, on the other hand, ties directly to strategy, operations, and risk management.
Exactly. And sustainability reporting in the 1980s and 1990s laid the foundation. But it was the early 2000s, especially with the UN Principles for Responsible Investment in 2006, that ESG really gained momentum.
I remember that. Institutional investors began demanding that companies disclose environmental and social risks. Suddenly, it wasn't just a nice to have, it became a financial imperative.
Global drivers, climate change, social justice, corporate scandals.
What really pushed ESG into the spotlight were global crises and movements.
Absolutely. Climate change became impossible to ignore. Floods, wildfires, rising sea levels. Companies had to respond.
On the social side, movements like Black Lives Matter and #MeToo forced businesses to rethink diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And let's not forget the corporate scandals. Enron, Volkswagen's emissions scandal, those exposed how governance failures can devastate trust.
ESG became the framework to prevent those failures and align business with global expectations.
ESG versus CSR versus sustainability. Similarities and differences.
People often confuse ESG, CSR, and sustainability. Let's clarify.
Sure. CSR is mostly voluntary, often philanthropic. Sustainability is about balancing environmental, social, and economic needs over the long term. ESG, however, is measurable, reportable, and increasingly regulated.
Right. ESG is where metrics meet meaning. Investors look at ESG ratings when deciding where to put their money. That's a big difference.
Stakeholder expectations, investors, regulators, employees, consumers.
The shift also comes from stakeholders. Investors now demand ESG disclosures. Regulators, especially in Europe, are mandating reporting.
Employees, especially younger generations, want to work for companies that align with their values. And consumers are voting with their wallets.
Exactly. A company ignoring ESG isn't just behind ethically, it's behind competitively.
Case examples. Companies leading in ESG early adoption.
Unilever is a classic example. Their sustainable living plan connected environmental goals directly to growth.
Tesla, of course, built its entire brand around clean energy, though it also shows ESG complexity, strong on E, but often criticized on S and G.
Patagonia is another. They put environmental activism at the heart of their brand, even encouraging people to buy fewer clothes. That's bold ESG.
So, in this episode, we've unpacked how ESG emerged, why it matters, and how it differs from CSR and sustainability.
And we've seen that ESG isn't optional. It's becoming the standard for how businesses are judged.
In the next episode, we'll dive into the first pillar, the E in ESG, climate change and environmental responsibility.
It's going to be practical, powerful, and packed with examples. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us. This was episode 1 of Mastering ESG. See you in episode 2.